All right. Right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Xbox. Another episode. We're on episode 32 today. I'm your host, the Best Bot Kid Smooth. I know we're about several minutes behind, but you guys know if you've been watching the show, that's kind of pretty much on par, consistent with what we've been doing. It's been a up and down week. Quite a few things to talk about. We have, just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown of some of the things. We got some Dirt 5 gameplay, some Yakuza gameplay for the Xbox Series X, some surprising, results. We got Digital Foundry finally reacted to the PlayStation 5 teardown, netting some words online. We also got some more backwards compatibility updates from the Series X, some impressive stuff that they just showed off. And then there's another acquisition rumor we're going to talk about. And there's a PlayStation update that's live that kind of got people feeling some type of way. So we're going to get into all of that. Once again, I am your host, the Best Bot Kid Smooth, and I'm joined today by pretty much the crew. We're going to start off with Chris Righteous. How are you doing? Chris? Okay. Why can't I hear it? Dope, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. All right. So, Chris, you there?
Yo, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yo, what's good, everybody? What's up? Another episode of Planet Xbox, and I just want to say one thing. Here's some advice that a wise man once said. If you can't take the heat, then get the fuck out of gaming. All right? That's what Kid Smooth once said, right? Because there's been a lot of that going around. There's been a lot of flip-flopping and emotional, and people don't like being fucking trolled in the console wars and all that stuff, but we're going to get into all of that today.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the one who literally gets this stuff organized and get us ready for the show with the topics, my right hand man, Coke Boy Jay. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Just chilling. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I just got my Quest 2 today. Tried it out for a little bit. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'll probably get into some more VR after the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's that new VR headset. I don't know how people do it, man. I really don't. But I got one for sale if anybody's interested. Not a Quest. Yeah, man, I've been in total casual mode. I've been playing casually Super Lucky's Tales, a new one. Even though I'll have some, I don't know, damn, that's the gameplay I forgot to put up. But I've been playing Super Lucky's Tale. It's been surprisingly decent. Like, I didn't like the first Lucky Tales that came out for the Xbox One X launch back in 2017. It was just, I guess it just needed more platforming and needed more charm than it had. I wasn't really feeling it, and I decided when this one came out for Game Pass, let me give this one a try, right? Because it was called New Super Lucky Style, so I thought it was just like a remaster of the first one. So I didn't take it any serious, and then I was playing it. And I found myself liking it, and to the point I'm like damn near towards the end of the game, and I'm like, oh, that happened fairly quick. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been playing that. I owe somebody, one of the Weapon Wheel Patreons, I owed them another stream of Fallout New Vegas. I was actually getting into that, so I might end up, depending on how much of the stream I do, I might end up trying to finish that game. But that game's a little bit longer than the other games I'm trying to get into. I've started Rage 2, but I stopped to finish off those streams and whatnot. I'm trying to think what else that I picked up. I'm in one of the rare dudes that literally play like 5 games at a time. And I don't know why I do it, but that's why people like me get hyped for like shit like Quick Resume and stuff like that, because I know I'm going to use it for the simple fact that I don't play one game at a time.
Yeah, you're ADD gamer.
ADD gamer. It's just like games have to keep me entertained. Once I start getting bored, I need that new jolt. So I just go for some else and then I go back. Yeah, we're still short staff here today. I don't know where NickBanks is. KUROIKOI. Bond, I think, is pretty much done. He's not really needed. So Yeah, so I guess it's just gonna be us three for the show until everybody else arrives. But shout out to the chat, all 98 of you. Please hit the like button and the share button. Get this podcast out to your friends, especially ones on social media. You pound that like button though. We're gonna go, what should we start with first? Like I said, it was a lot of things, a lot of talk. You know, I was very vocal this week, and I plan to continue to be vocal this week on the madness that's going on out there. There's a lot of there's a lot of hating. There's a lot of negativity going on out there. But Coke Boy, what do you have? What is something you would like to kick the show off with?
I guess we could start off with these butthurt ponies. Just destroying Digital Foundry on Twitter.
Okay.
All because of them reacting to a teardown video. And they didn't say anything bad. All they said is that they have two diverging approaches towards how they design their consoles around RDNA 2 and their goals for each console. But everybody just took it out of context and just went crazy on Twitter and was coming at those guys. And I understand, like John Letterman, he's sort of a soft individual.
Yeah, he's a little soft.
That shit.
Yeah.
Emo.
My thing is though, because the thing is, a lot of these same guys, you know, that are sharing their feelings, their distaste for Digital Foundry, are the same guys that typically refer to them every time it's time for them to, scrutinize an Xbox game for not meeting standards or something like that. So they'll sit there, they'll grab a screenshot, they'll grab a video clip, make sure they're and they're retweeting, they're liking it. You got your Red Dragons always quoting them and all that other stuff. And now the minute that they don't say, I don't even know, because when I watched the video, I didn't see it as anybody was dissing them. They were just like they were pretty much looking at what was showed to them, what was showed to us, all of us, because we all had to watch it via YouTube. And they really compared what they saw to what they got to experience with the Xbox, and then using their own experience, because obviously they got their hands on like previous gen consoles and got to see how those were built. So they had hands-on experience with the other consoles. So they were just pretty much watching the teardown and giving their impressions on it. But I don't understand what was it that got them upset. But go ahead.
I said this is pretty much what was said, right? Just like Doughboy said, he was telling how they
stop yelling, Michaela.
Different approach was like with Xbox. You know, they wanted to get more things like kind of like tighter in the box that they have, right? So obviously it's going to cost more to get a good cooling solution for something that's like more tighter, more like close space. And then with the PlayStation 5, they took a more conservative route or like a cost efficient route, and to make it more spacious and stuff like that. Some people took it around with it saying that it was cheaply built and stuff like that. I watched the video. I didn't really get that. So I didn't see what was the big deal, and I didn't see what was the big deal as well as like for like the people who were trolling Digital Foundry and said, they're not credible, or they're bought off by Microsoft. They're bought off by Microsoft. The next week they're Pony Foundry. You know what I mean? So it always flip flops and stuff like that. But they should know that Digital Foundry, like a lot of people who watch Digital Foundry aren't really tech enthusiasts. People watch Digital Foundry just to get more, ammo for the console wars and shit like that. Be like, look what they said, look what you said. So if you're gonna use what they said, it's like you can't get mad when they, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna use something they said against a preferred platform, you can't get mad when they say something that you don't like on the platform that you like. You know what I mean? And at the same time, like I get it. Like sometimes Digital Foundry can be a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes Digital Foundry, you know what I mean? I was watching that Dirt shit, which we're gonna get to, and there was a lot of shit that I saw wrong with Dirt that they didn't even bring up in the video. So sometimes,
well, how do you know what? I'm curious. What did you actually see?
Like the block tires and shit like that. Like there was shit that they didn't even mention in the video that like people were like pointing out that you can clearly see. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go through every little detail and stuff like that. But at the same time, they're fucking human beings as well. It's like sometimes they're not gonna catch everything either. You know what I mean? But like people's over reliance on Digital Foundry and these fanboy wars is always gonna bite you in the ass no matter what side are you on. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, you either like me. I barely watch Digital Foundry except for it's like if it's like a game, right? For example, like Ghost of Tsushima or Last of Us or some shit. That I watch that to see what they pulled off with the PlayStation 4 and stuff like that. But at the same time, you got to think it's like, yo, they don't even have the console in their hands, so they can't do a full accurate breakdown. So they were going off based off like opinions from what they were seeing from the PS5 teardown. So I wouldn't even take their word as the end all be all until they actually get their hands on the console and can see what's really going on with the PlayStation 5, which Sony, is being very like, yo, you know what I mean? It's like, we release this information when we want to release it. We're not just going to give it to anybody. But at the same time, it's not a big deal what they said about the PS5. And it's not a big deal about like people going around trolling Digital Foundry to the point where motherfuckers start drinking and start being depressed and all that shit as well. You know what I mean?
I think, but I do think PlayStation fans have like a knack for trolling. It's like the greatest talent that these guys have. I mean, because these dudes, nah, we don't got that talent. Xbox. This is what Xbox guys do. Xbox boasts. They pretty much. They boast, they praise.
They troll,
no, PlayStation guys. PlayStation guys. PlayStation guys troll to death, and the thing is, it's like they move like fucking parasites, right? So the minute they get a hold, if somebody says something that they disagree with or is perceived as a negative to their preferred platform, they come in like a horde of fucking army ants, and your notifications is just lit up for the day. So I can understand what John Lindemann is probably going through. Sure, you guys think it's just the memes and stuff like that, but he's probably getting shit in his comment section every day, Twitter mentions and all that stuff, and it gets to you. Not everybody's built for the type of shit that Twitter puts you through, but
like it gets to people. It gets to people. You know what I mean? And some people don't have the mental fortitude to like handle shit like that. And if you don't, then don't go on fucking social media and read comments. Especially if you know what you do.
Gotcha.
And somebody brought up J-Dub. Is J-Dub trolling horrible and toxic? No, it's not. He's just doing it for fucking fun. Like a lot of this shit, like when I troll, I do that shit for fun. I'm not doing it to like fuck with somebody's like mental fortitude or
yeah, but it's like not. Like, so for the thing, I don't got like, for example, J-Dub is J-Dub, but the thing is, when I think of J-Dub, I'm not thinking about he came at J-Dub because obviously J-Dub said some things, but the thing is, it's not J-Dub, it's the people that follow J-Dub. And so when J-Dub says that, he brings the people that follow J-Dub are worse than J-Dub. Right? That's how I look at it. It's like when I'm dealing with people of the fan base, is like, sure, I know, let's say the primary name, the big name, but it's the people that follow them that are worse, that like drives me nuts. So it's not the fact that it was J-Dub. No, it's the hundreds of people that follow J-Dub and like J-Dub because he's the PlayStation guy, and these guys are extreme, lonely, lifeless trolls.
You can say the same thing with like people who follow Tim Dog, or people who follow like Dealer Gaming, or people who follow, you know what I mean? You make any type of criticism under their posts about what they're saying, and I get fucking people, this, and that, and you're this, blah, 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 and shit like that. I mean, it's on all fucking sides, but that's Twitter for you. That's how this social media gaming community is toxic as fuck. And this shit's not gonna go away. Just like you said, right? You kill one roach, there's gonna be 5 more roaches that appear. You know what I mean? This is like at a certain point, you just gotta like, if it's getting too much for you, man, you just gotta take a break. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, my issue with it is when they start spreading false information. That's the biggest thing. You control. You could be like, Xbox has no games, Game Pass this, Game Pass that. Like, that's cool. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, say that bullshit. But when you start coming out and you start saying, like 2 or 3 teraflops of the GPU is being used towards the audio engine, you're not trolling at that point. You can't even write.
Oh my god! You
tweeted that with the intention of trying to spread misinformation, or you thought the information was correct and you didn't know it was misinformation, so you did it like, I don't know. It was really weird when I seen that shit this morning. I'm like, what the fuck is are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. So it's like the same people that were saying that the PS5 GPU was RDNA 1.5. I'm like, that's clearly not true. Like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
DJ Berto Doss for $2 says, in other words, you mean the Little Minions army.
Yeah, they all got the little fucking.
Yeah, I mean, there's these like the posts that people go around saying all this like stuff about Xbox. 20% of its GPU power is being allocated to audio. Like,
yeah, it was a post from, I forgot what
I've
it said,
never
but,
heard
like,
that in my life.
Me neither. That's why I was like, I forgot who posted it. I think it was Jay Barter. He said, "Is this true?" And then I looked at it and I was like, no, this is not true, because I'm pretty sure that
Red Gaming Tech commented on it too. He was like,
I'm pretty sure
no, this
Microsoft
isn't
said
true.
that Xbox has their own separate audio chips and shit like that. But see, the same shit happens on the other side too. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. It's the same shit all over. Like somebody will find a post, right? It will either be a thread or some type of post that was misinformation, and they will share it. You know what I mean? It's like the Demon Souls coming to PS4. That was misinformation.
Has a separate
like
audio
a lot of people run this shit.
Yeah. All right. So, just the other thing is that happened this week, because obviously everything's going to keep going back to, Digital Foundry, because people, PlayStation guys think they're paid by Microsoft, and that they're clearly biased.
No, I'll tell you who they're paid by. They're paid by Nvidia, for sure. They literally say in the beginning of their videos that's covered in Nvidia. They'll be like, "Oh, Nvidia,
like sponsored.
It's sponsoring this video." So most of the information that they dispense in terms of Nvidia graphics cards, I don't take too seriously. They don't give you the full picture and the full story.
The other thing, so we've obviously been waiting for Series X gameplay. So one of the first games to get its gameplay was Dirt 5. It kind of struck at like midnight, right after the Lakers won the championship. The thing is that immediately, people were immediately sharing the previews, and the first thing that everybody sort of ran with was more so the negative news. I've seen people post about averaging 30 to 40 frames per second, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, wow, that's bad. That's bad. So I was like, let me go to bed. Yeah. I'm not even going to comment on this shit, right? And
it was running on the Series X too.
So I go to bed. Video comes out by Digital Foundry, and they are doing their frame rate test. Why was there's no signs of this 30, 40 frames per second? And the one thing I had my beef about, I had a couple beefs. The guy, I think it's Ars Technica, whatever, the guy that said 30, 40 frames per second didn't capture gameplay at all, didn't have any tools to count the frame rates, and literally just pretty much threw that out there and was confident about it. IGN's post, which they originally had after the backlash re-uploaded it in like 4K 60, but they originally posted their preview at 1080p 60, and they're talking about the game is lacking the next gen wow factor, which is fine. I mean, because we've seen Dirt since May, so I don't know what everybody, and we've seen the marketing material for over the last 6 months, right? So then we had Digital Foundry. They do their video, and they're showing you like the frame rate test and all that stuff. And so I'm reading previews, I'm watching the Digital Foundry test, and then I go back to the lone article that everybody wanted to share was the 30, 40 frames per second, and there's like no evidence of it. Like I watched Jeff Grubb's frame rate test, I watched Digital Foundry frame rate test. If the game hits that low, Digital Foundry are no strangers to pointing out some surprising low bar. They weren't afraid when
Did they do a frame rate test at all?
Yes.
Digital Foundry?
Yes. Their video was afraid.
I want to say one thing about this Dirt thing, right? Because me personally, I don't give a fuck what the fuck it runs, res dynamic. I don't give a fuck. But the people who kept fucking, and I keep telling y'all, like, it ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. Oh, multi-class on the Series X is gonna be native 4K 60, it's gonna have ray tracing, it's gonna do all this, that, and the third, and shit like that. And then we're seeing games that are running dynamic 4K, which I keep telling people, and I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. Don't worry about fucking resolution count next generation. It's not gonna matter as you think it does. and it's like everything that like people were clowning that the PS5 was weak at and shit like that. It's like, yo, you're gonna be getting those same games running around the same level of performance.
So why are y'all talking about Dirt 5 though? Then because that's not exclusive. That's not an exclusive in any case scenario.
But it's showing on the Series X.
But it's still coming on the PlayStation. So
I understand.
You're commenting on, you said what the tires look like.
The multi-class was going to be so much better, and it's going to be a huge despairing gap between the PS5 and the Series X. And I keep telling people the gap is not going to go as much as you think it's going to go.
Nah, I get what Chris is saying, because there were people that were really hyping up the Series X. I'm not gonna lie, Smooth. You were one of them.
I'm still hyping that shit up. I'm not worried about these. I'm not worried about these hookups at all.
Nah, you were capping saying that if it runs at runs at dynamic resolution on PS5, it's gonna be a lock 4K 60 on Xbox.
Yeah. I said, listen. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I still stick by that. I still stick by that. I still stick by that. But go ahead.
There's going to be some edge cases where some third-party games are going to be like that, but it's going to be few and far between. That's the thing. It's not going to be too many titles like that.
Go ahead.
Now about Dirt 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are these people acting like Dirt 5 is supposed to be the benchmark for next gen? Like, it was supposed to wow us. Like, I never looked at Dirt 5 and said, yo, this shit about to be fire. This is about to show off the next gen console. Like, we seen it in May. It looked alright. So these people out here only saying that the game doesn't look that great. Blah 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 blah. It was never meant to be this visual spectacle. That's for the Forzas. That's for the
No,
what's the
Dirt
one
has always looked great on PC.
Yeah, there's been because one of the things with Dirt is always showing off like the particles and like the tracks and the muds like singing everywhere and shit like that.
Yeah, but
like,
is it really like a Forza type of like?
No, it's not. It's not. But here's the thing.
Or even Gran Turismo, like what I seen from Gran Turismo when we first seen that shit, that's amazing. Like,
but wow. I still got a question though.
What's your question?
Is Digital Foundry credible now or not?
Because
I was told, during the 360 PS3 generation that they were credible. Then I was told during the Xbox One PS4 era that they were not credible. And now I'm hearing that they're credible again. So I just need to know.
It flip-flops depending on the narrative.
I think that their information's pretty solid. Now, when their videos, when they clearly say that, hey, we're sponsored from NVIDIA, then all right, yeah, this might not tell the entire picture in terms of how this particular card is going to perform, because they're only showing the highlights. They're not giving you the full picture of the pros and cons of getting whatever thing that you're purchasing, right? Unlike a Tom's Hardware, Gamers Nexus, somebody like that. But in terms of like covering,
I just need a yes or no.
Yes, I believe that they're pretty credible.
Smooth.
That's for me.
Yes, they're very credible. They're going to be they're very credible. They're them along with other people.
So they're not Pony Foundry.
So Smooth about to get a clap is tonight. You heard everybody. So they are very credible.
And they're very credible. Moving forward, they're credible. I don't know if I ever. Hey, I could be wrong. I don't know if I use the term Pony Foundry. There's some people at Digital Foundry I don't like. I always like Richard Ledbetter.
That's irrelevant though.
Doesn't matter. He's my favorite of the crew.
Smooth. They use instruments and tools.
Okay, what's that have to do with it?
Whatever anybody on Digital Foundry says is irrelevant.
Okay.
All you're doing is looking at their tools.
Okay, and their tools have been pretty cool to see.
But they weren't cool to see last generation.
Last generation? What about last generation?
Oh, you weren't. Digital Foundry was incredible earlier in this generation.
Hey. Their findings weren't stopping me from enjoying my games. That's pretty much that's what's been my my mantra there. Like, like you could hit me for saying like, oh, it don't matter. I don't care about the blades of grass that Grand Theft Auto had. You know what I mean? But
you know what your motto is?
What's that?
It doesn't matter until it's going my way. That's what
I'm not mad at it.
But Digital Foundry doesn't matter until it's going my way. Bethesda, their games are boring.
Hey, guess what, guys? But I was introduced.
The mentally ill girl.
Hellblade.
Yeah, that game is boring as hell.
See, that wasn't my comment. My comment was I wasn't feeling the combat because I didn't like the. But the thing is that here's the thing: if it wasn't for the elite PlayStation fan base, right? These guys put me on game. They use these tools, the digital foundries. They use exclusive against me since they want to argue. So now I'm able to absorb that and use the same tools that were used against me for all these years and use it back. Yes, yes, I am.
Because where are your exclusives?
Dude, I don't care about PC. I'm talking about consoles. I'm like, I don't care about PC.
Where are your Microsoft launch games?
Yeah. I mean, what about it? I mean, yeah, launch games. Yeah, launch games. Yeah, I'll admit. Yeah, there's no launch games, but the year's been 2020 went by kind of quick. So, Halo's is around the corner, and we own Doom and Starfield and all that shit. So it's fine.
Not around the corner. What are you
the game's coming out in June. Game's coming out in June.
This is crazy.
Well, I mean, they don't have no official release.
But you know what's crazy right now, though? Smooth about to buy all of his games from GameStop.
No, I don't. I buy digital.
Because of their partnership with GameStop and Microsoft.
No, the only thing I'm getting from GameStop is the Xbox Series S and the extra controller and maybe the expansion card. But I don't buy physical games. I'll be buying physical PlayStation games probably from there. Because I'm not going.
It just seems super crazy, Smooth. If you don't like, finish, or play games.
I like
finish games.
I finish games. I just don't finish I don't finish the games at the rate you want me to, and I don't play a lot of the same games you play.
No. You don't finish games until Microsoft buys them.
That's not true. That's not true.
You're right, because you still haven't finished one Bethesda game, so you are right.
Well, I haven't finished one Bethesda game because they take time. Guess what? I'm about to finish Super Lucky's Tales. Microsoft don't own them.
Oh, God. Super Lucky's Tales, really? Also, about this whole resolution and power difference, I don't even know why you guys are talking about it. The difference between a Pro and an Xbox One X is larger than a PS5 and a Series X.
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
And we already saw at the Pro and the X that difference of power did not even matter.
I keep saying that
it's not even going to matter.
The power narrative isn't going to go.
Yeah, but guess this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to isolate every frame, and I'm going to use it. Whatever. I don't care if it's a 2-frame advantage. I will use it. If PlayStation is running the game at 58 frames and Xbox is 60, I'm going to use it. It's a dub. I'm sorry.
Why
doesn't it matter, Bon?
Because one, the Xbox Series S, and two, like Mocha said, Nintendo has games and lap the Xbox One, which just goes to show you that power.
I don't play Nintendo. In my world, Nintendo doesn't exist, so it really doesn't matter. Nintendo could sell 300 million, it would go unnoticed to me.
Guess what, Smooth?
What's up?
You say Nintendo doesn't matter in your world. Guess what? To the gaming world, Xbox don't matter.
Hey, that's their loss. They're missing out.
No, they're not. To the PlayStation and to the PlayStation Nintendo world, Xbox don't matter. Which essentially means to the entire gaming world, Xbox don't matter.
Well, they're about to own every damn thing. If they still care about Elder Scrolls and Fallout and what Starfield may be, Xbox will matter again. Shout out to Geekhead 188 for $2.99. He says Assassin's Creed Valhalla is looking crazy though. Cap eyeballs. Yes, Valhalla. It has just solidified itself to be obviously the immediate first game I play. It is my gaudy contender. It's my most anticipated game of the year. It was always sharing that with Halo Infinite, but now Halo Infinite is delayed. It is my most anticipated game of the year. That game preview looked fire.
Don't you have a bet going on with it?
Yeah, but I'm gonna beat BG's ass with this bet. Like, it's alright. BG lost when did Ghost score 83?
Yeah, go.
What does Valhalla have to get?
84 or better.
Has to get an 84. The last
which version?
Which was the last Assassin's Creed, which was
Odyssey,
which was received really, really well, got an 83.
Well, what version are we talking about has to score better?
I mean, I think that you got a point.
PS5 version?
See, but no. That's not even gonna be.
Xbox.
It gotta be. It might be. I would try to say the cumulative score between like the platforms.
No, you're not taking all.
No,
these
you average it. You average it. You add them up and you average.
Probably the best thing to do would just be to choose the PS4 or PS5 version because that's directly compared on the same system. But I would iron that out with BG.
Yeah.
Or he takes a PC version or an Xbox, whatever. Basically, so he can't choose whatever version scores the lowest. So y'all better iron that out.
I saw some of Assassin's Creed. Visually, it looks better than when it first was shown. Because when it first was shown, it looked terrible. So, you know what I mean. And the footage that they were showing was obviously PC. So graphically, like it looks a lot better. The visuals and the character models, right? Like the face models and shit like that. But when it comes to like combat and gameplay and stuff like that, the shit still looks janky. And I don't know, man. It's just like me.
What is janky?
Like it just the animations and shit like doesn't look smooth and
janky. Translation: my knees. There you go.
I mean, hey, you said janky. I bet it won't look janky at 60 frames per second.
You know what's funny about these next?
It doesn't matter what frame rate is running. I could be running at 240 frames per fucking second. That game is still garbage.
Get your fucking. You got a fucking high top, don't you?
I don't know.
You know what's funny about these consoles, though? It's already been pretty much confirmed these consoles can't run 4K 60 with ray tracing.
No, ray tracing is too taxing.
Yeah.
Even if this game did have ray tracing, it'd still be garbage. Trash hollow.
Oh my god!
Right?
Who think this game's fire?
But who thought that these consoles were gonna be doing 4K 60 with ray tracing?
I already know what group of people
A
thought
lot
that.
of people, that's what we were talking about earlier. How some of these people, talk about 12 teraflops and 4K 60 ray tracing 4K.
No, but none of them said that. Like that's the thing.
What are you talking about? None of them said
hold
that.
Hold up. No, none of them said that, bro. Like when I look
who's none? Who are you talking about? Who's
like K Mega is none.
K Mega, Ten Dog,
like I
Better Gaming.
I've seen them tout 12 teraflops. All right, like I've seen them tout the power on paper. That's what I've seen them tout. So like I've never seen them say, "Hey yo, this shit about the like kick off 4K 60 with ray tracing," or
yes, they said that. They did say that.
I don't believe 4K. I haven't said 4K with ray tracing.
I'll go get the receipts.
The only game I expected to do 4K with ray tracing.
You get the receipts. You get the receipts.
I don't make shit up. The shit that I see, I usually can back it up. I can back it up, and I can back it up for you. See, I don't make shit up. Motherfucker was talking about how this shit was gonna be 4K 60 hardware-based ray tracing.
Well, it does have hardware-based ray tracing.
Okay, I know, but that the PS5 wouldn't be able to do it, right? And all this other shit, right?
I mean,
hold on. They said they wouldn't be absolutely delusional if you think that nobody was saying that.
I'm sure there's like a soul that said something like that, but I'm just saying.
Multiple souls.
I feel like
I'm not making shit up. I don't make shit up on my ass.
Any console gamer talking about hardware and specs should have their accounts deleted off of Twitter immediately. They should not be allowed. They should not be allowed to talk about hardware and specs until the machines are literally out.
Let's get back to the main topic at hand. Trash Hollow. I would rather spend $90 on Demon Souls, a PS3 remake, than Trash Hollow. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
World. It doesn't look good.
Okay.
Shitty combat. No story.
No story. Okay. Does Demon Souls have a story,
but
bro?
The story and the character's gonna be bland as fuck, like all Assassin's Creed.
Like it didn't.
These people in the chat talking about the games looking fire. Fuck out of here. This shit does not look good. Oh my god. Beat this shit. Most of y'all gonna drop this game off like a bad fucking habit.
No, this game gonna be the best game of the year.
Did they do that with Odyssey?
Stop.
Did they do that with Odyssey?
No, Odyssey was a GOAT status. Origins was GOAT status, and Valhalla is gonna three-peat. Like I'm saying, like you guys don't like just because y'all don't have the best taste in fucking like video games. This is gonna be a crowning achievement for the Assassin's Creed franchise. It's gonna get it is. It's going to get its due. It's going to get its respect. This is the first time. Think about it. Think about this. Ubisoft track record. What is the biggest thing Ubisoft is known for? Showing you a game that looks really good and then releasing it and it's downgraded, right? This is the first time they showed a game that looked to some of you guys meh, and then closer to launch, the shit looks phenomenal.
Wow, like because they increased the textures to make the character models better. Wow, the game still looks boring.
The game, what makes the games look boring? Why does the game look boring? Hold on, Kuroi, hold your thought. Write it down. Take a note. What makes the game look boring?
All right, one, the combat is still the same shit from all these other Assassin's Creed games. While they added a couple of moves, but it's not fluent, it's not smooth whatsoever. It's not satisfying to play this game and be like, yo, I'm about to go in here and fuck shit up. I played other Assassin's Creed games. I don't have to play this shit to know it's gonna be garbage. Second of all, the story. What is this game about? What's the goal with this game?
Vikings. It's set. It takes place in fucking England. Like it's.
What the fuck are you doing in this game?
What
meaningful characters are in this game? Like who you really making a connection in this game?
I said what?
Like we have
the landmark is technically England.
Did you say Vikings in England?
Yes.
I don't think Vikings were in England.
The landmark is in England.
It's about them invading England. I think it is.
Oh, okay, about to say.
No, they have. They were there.
I think it's about them invading England or some shit like that.
Here's the other thing, though, Smooth.
Horrendous.
Like, first of all, we already know that this Assassin's Creed is not going to be the game of the holiday. It's probably going to score lower this holiday just simply because of the competition in Cyberpunk that's going to come out earlier.
Exactly. If everybody had a choice in this chat right here and in this podcast, if you have to choose between two games that you have to buy, Cyberpunk or Valhalla, what are you paying $60 on?
Valhalla.
When is Valhalla coming out?
November 10th, Xbox Series launch.
It's coming out when?
November 10th on the Series X launch.
A couple days before.
No, Cyberpunk comes out the same day.
No, they come out the 19th. No, they don't. The Cyberpunk comes out the 19th or the 17th or something like that. Yeah.
Don't tell me.
It comes out a week later.
Do not tell me both. You have one choice: Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You have $60 to spend that day.
Last I heard, Assassin's Creed didn't take anything out of their game.
Dude, they didn't put anything in either.
Yeah, they didn't put shit in there.
I mean, you straight capping. You talking about games? You played none of them. You don't even know what Cyberpunk's going to do. Sure, I think it's going to be alright, but like you don't know exactly what it's going to do.
You know what's crazy? I knew.
But you just called Assassin's Creed Game of the Year.
I do know what this game is going to be, and I also knew what Ghost of Tsushima was going to of, and that shit was fucking
That
fire.
shit was garbage with the fucking basic ass combat. Ghost of Tsushima's combat, you stood still till the dude got close to you and then you slash. Boring shit. Boring shit, bro. And following foxes around, bro. And following foxes around. That shit, I watch people play it. Like, I don't need to get far enough. This shit's dull.
You played it.
I played it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it.
Valhalla should go straight to Game Pass. How about that? Straight to
Ghost of Tsushima should go straight to PlayStation now.
Even some of the journalists compared the fucking Tsushima to an Assassin's Creed game
because they ripped off a lot of the stuff except for that shitty ass combat.
A lot of people were saying that.
No, but a lot of people
nobody had a problem with that.
That's what they shit all over Assassin's Creed 4 is for being formulaic.
So, and then Ghost of Tsushima came and took that formula and did it better.
No, it didn't. No, it did. No, it did.
They made it way better.
For that.
They didn't take the Assassin's Creed formula and make it better. They didn't.
Absolutely.
Not the Assassin's.
Absolutely, they made it a lot better.
No, they did. At 28 frames per second, yes, they made it better.
Hey, PS5 update, 60 frames per second coming.
Last I checked, the Pro had a 60 frames per second mode, and that shit ran at what?
I don't have 60 frames per second.
Yeah, no, they have a performance mode. That's the only reason why the game's going to be able to hit 60 because it has a performance mode.
So the fuck what? It's going to hit 60 on the PS5.
But why didn't it hit 60 on the Pro?
Because the Pro has a weak ass fucking CPU. Why didn't Assassin's Creed Odyssey hit 60 FPS on the One X?
Because it was never intended to.
Exactly.
Better question, Smooth. Why is Yakuza 6 900p on Xbox Series S.
I don't know because fucking Yakuza.
There you go.
Yakuza. Well, I'll tell you this. Them niggas. Nobody knows. Is it? A shout out to Nelson Neves with the $50. He said buy Valhalla, and on Amazon it's like $50 for Series X. Shout out to you, Nelson. I will do just that.
That just should be $5 on day one. Fuck that game.
Nelson Neves with the super chat, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the point. Is hating on Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not going to get you guys anywhere. I'm sorry. It's not whatever you're looking to get out of it. It's not.
Valhalla is dropping on the same day as Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then 2 days later, Demon Souls remake and Godfall is coming out. Right.
Okay. Both games are going to be less.
You have Black Ops Cold War and
so what does that have to do with Valhalla being bad or good?
No, Valhalla is so bad that it's gonna get buried by all these other games. That's the thing.
You're crazy.
And then you got Trails of
so
Cold
Demon
Steel
Souls gonna
4.
wait. Is Demon Souls gonna outsell Valhalla? Yes or no?
Oh yes.
We can
what? This will Demon Souls outsell Valhalla?
You want to bet?
Y'all need to be realistic.
NBD. Yeah, I'll take that right now.
You want to bet? You want to bet?
I want $63. You right?
Y'all need to be
Especially the
realistic.
PS5 outsells the X Series X.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about Demon Souls. Demon Souls versus Valhalla.
Demon Souls out of fucking all.
Look. As much as I like Cold Steel 4, it is not going to come close to the sales of Assassin's Creed. Let's be serious.
No, it's a multi-plat. That's not even fucking like.
I capped a little bit with that one right there, but
Yeah, a little bit. You can't say a hell of a lot of it.
Even so,
he definitely did.
Even so, look, Demon Souls Remake is a launch title for
It's
PS5.
still not going to touch
It's gonna sell a
Assassin's
lot.
Creed.
All right, I'm not taking the bet.
Assassin's Creed on PS5 will outsell Demon Souls on PS5.
Somebody said Valhalla is gonna outsell Cyberpunk. Y'all tripping?
I don't know about that.
No.
Whoever said that is smoking crack, and here's why. Every commercial, every advertisement for Cyberpunk, what do you think it's going to say? From the creators of The Witcher 3.
I bet you. Okay, so.
But they also have
The top
Keanu
sell-
Reeves in the
I-
trailer
I-
as well.
The,
So
the top sellers of November is gonna be. Well, hold on. When is Call of Duty come out? This month or November?
November.
Same day as PlayStation or Friday the 13th or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll throw in Call of Duty. Of course, Call of Duty right now. It's gonna be that in sales. Cyberpunk and Miles Morales are gonna be like the 3 top selling games in November. I bet you Miles Morales is gonna outsell Assassin's Creed.
Look. This guy said it properly. He said whoever owns Demon Souls is definitely bearing Assassin's Creed into their backlog. That's a fact. They're gonna drop that game.
Nah. Demon Souls gonna get dropped because people think they want Demon Souls till they play it. They're like, this shit is garbage.
the people who play Demon Souls aren't particularly the same people who would play Valhalla. Like that crowd is very different.
Oh, you're right. When
You're
gonna play Spider-Man.
Nah, they're both hard.
Y'all gotta
I
be
mean, Assassin's Creed took from
like
the Souls
realistic
games.
with this shit. Like y'all gotta be real realistic.
Assassin's Creed took from the Soul. Well, the new Assassin's Creed took from the Souls games.
Let me give a quick shout out to DJ Birdo Doss for $2. He says, smooth, you capping. Ghost of Tsushima combat is far from boring. Shaking my head. That shit is boring, bro.
I do have a question for Smooth. Smooth, have you ever beaten a turn-based RPG not named Pokemon?
Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door.
So that's the only.
That's a good one though.
That's the only turn-based RPG you beat.
I
Right?
think so.
I got a patience for
I'm telling you right now, there's no point in you wasting your time on Yakuza.
I probably won't. Not after fucking hitting 900p on fucking Series S and 14. Nah. It depends. If it's on Game Pass, I'm gonna try it.
Yakuza is. You'll literally have 20-minute to a half-hour conversations in Yakuza before you go to a different location, then talk again, then fight, then talk. Like, it's heavily story-driven. It's not a game you're going to like.
Well, they said the very first cutscene, and I don't.
In chapter 5 is 18 minutes.
The 1440p. Yeah, it's like the 18 minutes after dude's boss is killed or whatever. Like they go out and they talk and it's very long. Like 19 minutes fucking cutscene. That sounds amazing to me.
Yeah.
But like it's like I know that for Smooth, like you're not gonna fuck with it for real, for real.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a
But,
try,
like, I
but
mean,
I don't know if it depends, man. I don't know.
but
Man.
it's a $50 game, and I mean,
It's
like,
on Game
you're
Pass.
Gonna spend 50, is it in Game Pass or?
It will be on Game Pass. It launches in Game Pass.
It launches in Game Pass, right?
Like the Dragon does?
Yeah.
What he's saying.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valhalla should do the same thing too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, when the Xbox buys Ubisoft, then we can talk about that. But
Yeah, then I'll actually play the game.
Like, if I could literally describe a game that Smooth wouldn't play, it would be Yakuza. Japanese eccentric.
Yeah,
Or
Japanese
centric.
centric, yeah.
Turn based.
Yeah.
Heavy dialogue.
Mhm.
And you need a history of playing the other games to kind of understand the world. There's really no reason you should like Smooth. There's other games to play on the Xbox Series X. There's literally no point in you playing the games, especially if you have the first one.
No,
Well,
not to put $60 down. Like, I mean, for real, like you should spend it on another title, dog, that you want to actually play. Like,
that's what Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting bought.
It's not even about the money. Here's the problem. Here's the reason why people like Smooth have giant backlogs. They play games that they know they're not going to end up finishing or like. Like I would never Days Gone. What's that? A 50-hour plus game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about
Even if somebody gave me that for free, I would never even play it because what's the point? I know I'm not going to finish it.
You talking about Trash Gone? That
Yeah,
garbage
so
ass game?
why would I?
Days Gone was good.
Like, look,
Days Gone was good. It was decent.
I got tons of better things to do in life, tons of other things to spend my time on. Why am I going to spend 50 hours, even if it's free? Why am I going to spend 50 hours on a game when I could be doing something else?
Yeah, that game shouldn't have been that long. Let me give a quick shout out to Bless Red with the $2 super chat. He said, "New Assassin's Creed is great value. Witcher 3. Fuck out of here." Nelson.
No, he got a point there.
Nah. He said great value. That's disrespect, nigga. That's the Walmart brand of a fucking B. Nah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
Great value. Great value.
Like the thing is the game does look better from its first showing. Like, I got Witcher value looking at it from the environment. Like, it looked really good. Like it gave me kind of like the Skellige vibes in Witcher. Like, and I mean, it's kind of based off of that Scandinavian kind of like Viking culture and everything. So it's like I'm fucking with it, but also like being a fan of the Viking show. Like, I feel like I'm gonna fuck with this story. I'm gonna fuck with these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could say that the world's empty and all of that shit, but I saw like the shit happening and going on. I saw the destruction look better as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the animations, hopefully they get worked on, because like that caught my eye like a bit, or maybe that's just me fucking with me. But the game looks way better than their first showing of that shit, where I didn't have no interest in it at all. So
Nelson,
Here's my question though: how can a great value Witcher 3, which is proclaimed as the game of the generation, how is that a bad thing?
Because
Witcher 3 is not game of the generation for everybody.
I wouldn't even praise the game.
Wow,
as
It's not a game of the generation.
Okay, it's considered by
it's one of the best games.
as one of the best games of the generation.
Yes.
So how is a great value of one of the best games of the generation considered a bad thing?
Well, he was trying to use it. Hold on. He was trying to use it in the content that is supposed to be like a bootleg,
No,
Witcher 3.
that's a low rent. That's not a great value. You know what a great here's a perfect example. You know what a great value version of Michael Jordan is? Kobe fucking Bryant. Would you consider Kobe Bryant bad? No.
exactly.
That's why I've never gave Trash Hollow that much praise. It's a garbage.
oh my
game.
God, Nelson Neve says, "Why are you guys hating on Valhalla?"
Because it's garbage.
They don't know.
That's not a valid answer. Why are you hating on the game?
Nah, here's the thing. It's like me. Like, okay, I play Origins and Odyssey. I thought those games were like Odyssey. Like, that shit was like a 7.5 out of 10. Like, those games aren't bad and shit like that. It's just like I'm seeing Valhalla, and it's like I'm looking at like, okay, I'm gonna be doing the same shit I was doing in Origins and Odyssey, and it doesn't look impressive. The combat doesn't look impressive to me or nothing like that. I said I was gonna get the game, but when it's cheap, like I did all the other Assassin's Creed. The last Assassin's Creed I bought at full price was Assassin's Creed 3 on the 360, the one with the Native American with Connor. Other than that, all the other Assassin's Creeds, I get them for like $20 or less.
Hot Boy D says, for $2, graphics aside, Yakuza still looks fun to me.
Yakuza,
like
it's
the
gonna be a
art
great
style is just like I've seen folks trash it, like who were like expecting like this great kind of like jump like fucking T-Lu 2, but that art style just wouldn't fit fucking Yakuza. So like what they're going for, like, but at the same time, like their art style, like it fits their world that they're building. Like, so they just really wouldn't fit them fucking trying to go like hyper realistic and all of that other bullshit. So it's just like, in the game still looks good. Shikawami 2 looks amazing. This game looks even better. So
yeah, Kiwami 2 is fucking fire.
Yeah, shit, it looks fucking great. Like, fuck these people. Like, Yakuza looks fucking beautiful. Crazy.
Nah, but here's the thing. I'm not like nobody should expect Yakuza to be like. It shouldn't be expected that that's gonna be like the graphical showcase of next generation, right? It's a current generation game. It's already out on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, exactly.
That's being ported over, right? The Series X, they're gonna get the the upgraded patch, whatever. And
like they did what they could with
And Yakuzas are not. I mean, they look good, but they're not the games that you want to show off next generation and shit like that. You know what I mean? I just like trolling people who put so much emphasis on resolution numbers and shit like that. So when I see 900p, like I don't give a fuck if that shit, whatever p,
like
motherfucker who put so
like,
much emphasis
what I got,
on pixel counts and resolution.
What I got from journalists, what I got from journalists in like Digital Foundry, that the normal mode was 4K 60, and then you have what the hell is it like the visual mode
30, I think. It's
the normal mode is 1440p 60. And the 4K mode is 4K 30, and then the frame rate mode, I think, is 1080p 60. Yeah, there's two modes targeting 60 frames. There's two modes targeting 60 frames per second. The normal mode and the frame rate mode. But the frame rate mode, the resolution is too low, so it's not even worth trying. So you just play in the normal mode.
1080p 60.
Yeah.
Like, as the dude said
like
that
1440p 60.
That the dude from the Yuzuka for Digital Foundry. So that's why, like, I'll look at it again, because I swear, like, that nigga didn't say nothing about no 1440.
For the normal mode, the standard mode is 1440p 60, and the 4K mode is 4K 30. So normal 1440p 60, 4K 30, and then 60. The frame rate mode where they're super prioritizing frame rate, so there's no drops, is 1080p 60.
Yeah, so like when the dude, if that's the case, then that just means that that's just like that game's limitations. Let's say with it being like this gen, like PS4 a title like that, because even the dude said for Dirt 5, or I think it was Yakuza, he was like, it's not like we haven't seen the full power of the Series X. Yeah. In use.
Well, yeah. Those were the last games I expected to like show off the Series X. That's why I wasn't super hyped when I found out we were going to be seeing those games on Monday. Now Monday came and went, but
the Dirt to look better than what they showed off.
I didn't expect Dirt. I already knew what Dirt looked like, though. That's the thing. We've seen it. We've seen it running on the series.
For a next gen version, absolutely.
Bro, we saw it in May, and you guys said it wasn't gameplay.
Like, even the developers said that they were that it was a very high emphasis on the frames. That was the highlight when when Dirt 5 was like first showcase, and it was just like. Yeah, like they were toting the 120, and yes, it doesn't stick. Like you may hit like 119, 118, but still, even doing that, just like Digital Foundry said, it was like a big deal. Like it was just like this.
All I gotta say is, if you care about 120 frames per second, don't buy a next gen console.
It's not gonna be the standard for next gen. There's gonna be some games that do it, but. I'm just happy that we're getting more options, right? For example, like a lot of the Sony first-party games, they're at least giving us like options for 60 frames and shit like that. So it's like that's all I really ask for. Like, and I keep telling people it's like, yo, the resolution isn't gonna matter as much next gen. You know, even John Lennon, right, from Digital Foundry, so we were talking about Digital Foundry earlier. He said I think it's changed. Pixel counts did used to matter a lot. Now that resolutions are way higher and anti-alias and techniques are evolved, it really doesn't matter. Things aren't the same as what they used to be. I wasn't really part of that. So even like that's what I'm saying. It's like people shouldn't just like when people get in on Demon Souls for being 1440p 60. Yeah, but look at the textures and the lighting and all that shit's fucking like next.
Plus, it's built-in upscaling in these consoles as well.
Exactly, the upscaling shit is still gonna give you that clean 4K image.
Oh yeah,
that's why people shouldn't harp so much on the numbers.
Oh, you know, listen to you guys just talk about this shit. Why don't you get your consoles on that DLSR?
Man, that
DLSS.
Yep.
Shout out to Bless Fred. He said dollar store with your 3 corner store. He's still trying to one up his
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm eating on your podcast, Kid Smooth.
That's fine. I don't have beef with that. I don't have that. That don't bother me. Eat away. Yeah. Feed yourself.
We don't have those rules over here,
but what are you eating, by the way?
What the fuck?
Cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak? Okay.
Man, you know he got that cheesesteak on deck.
What's up, Mega Bad Seed?
Gotta get cheat day in.
All right. The other thing we gotta touch up on. Oh man, what else happened? It was on my.
We got clarification on the backwards compatibility from Sony. We were talking about a lot.
And we got further clarification on Xbox as well. So let's start with PlayStation. You know, since you guys care about backwards compatibility now.
No, we just said it's not the biggest end-all feature for next generation console. But anyways, so Sony came out and said, like what they said back in March, if people ran with misinformation, that they're gonna have at least 4,000 titles, PS4 titles that are backwards compatible with the PlayStation 5, except like 10 of them, and they listed off 10 games that wouldn't work with backwards compatibility.
Yeah, 10 trash games.
Yeah.
This is how you expand the SSD on the PlayStation 5. First, you take out the base.
And one of them is actually listed. You can't even have it no more. So that, okay. And then another thing I wanted to bring up is the cross save, because that was a point of contention for the past like 2 weeks when it came to Sony.
So they brought it back up.
Cross save works perfectly fine with your PS4 games going into PS5. You're still gonna have your same save files and everything like that. They said it's up to the developers. The only ones that are kind of iffy are the cross-gen games. When it comes to like if you have a cross-gen games and you upgrade it to the PS5, and there's only 2 of them that we know, or I think 3 of them, right? It was Yakuza, Dirt, or was it Dirt? I don't remember which one it was. But those games have one thing in common, right? That they have a marketing deal with Xbox, but we see cross-gen games like Miles Morales and NBA 2K support that feature, so that completely debunks the whole thing that people were saying that the PS5
it actually doesn't
crossplay or couldn't do crossplay, because there's games that are doing crossplay and it's up to the developers. So if there's games that don't have crossplay,
it's only between the PS4 and the PS5 version, right? That's it. But all the other PS4 games will have it.
Your PS4 games, fine. Yeah, we're talking about cross-generation games, like the games that have upgrades, like
right. Which NBA 2K is doing that. Miles Morales is doing that. Yeah.
No, technically, I mean, but 2K they're not even. The 2K is doing something else that's grimy, so they better give you your save because they're taking your currency. So
Cyberpunk is doing the free upgrades as well.
Yo, can we like skip this topic? Because this is like the 5th week in a row I've been on here. Y'all been talking about all that.
It was just a correction, and we don't gotta go further.
All right. So and also this week Xbox had showed off their new feature that they're doing on backwards compatible games that the influencers haven't had access to yet, and that's them, the system going in and they're taking games that are capped at 30 frames per second, and they're doubling the frame rate to 60. They just showed off Fallout 4 running at 60 frames on the Series X. Now, that's not an uncapped frame game. That's not like a dynamic game that was, launched at a fixed frame rate or at a capped frame rate. And showed it off, which is cool because we were waiting to see that, because earlier they said, you know, there would be games that originally launched at 30 that they're gonna double to 60, and there are games that originally launched at 60 that they're gonna double to 120. And then they also said that they're gonna put out a list soon that's gonna let us know what games are gonna be taking advantage of those enhancements as well. So I thought that was cool. They also showed off Auto HDR again, and reconfirmed that all these games and Series S games, because I remember Series S, people were shitting that they were gonna just be running them at Xbox One S settings, but the Series S will have its own settings applied to these games to bring them up to par. So I thought that was a good look. Anybody have any comments or thoughts on that?
Yeah. I just want to for people in the chat. Sony is doing the whole thing with the boosting, which is like almost the same thing. Was like if a game was unlocked or like uncapped or anything like that, right? Whether it be the resolution or the frame rates, it's gonna boost those games up automatically. So stop with the information, people in the chat. You can see it in the chat, because I don't want anybody saying nobody's not saying that.
Sony actually said that it applies to quote unquote select games, and it appears that performance boost won't be applied across the board like Xbox Series X. So that's from them. That's what they said.
Then we'll see which games they apply for.
Also, do you remember? Sony also said they warned that some PS4 games may exhibit errors and unexpected behavior.
Yeah, they give a disclaimer, which is funny because like the next day,
what's up with that?
They give a disclaimer that sometimes that there may be a fucking game that fucking gets in, and because how fast the PS5 is in that tech, it could fucking do some shit to the game, but we don't know. But I wouldn't jump the gun on that just yet, because it's funny because like the next day, right, when Alana Pierce was showing off the Series X, she tried to boot up Gears of War 5 and Halo Master Chief Collection.
Because they're not compatible yet, because they're getting Series X versions.
Oh, because they gotta get the patch.
No, they're optimizing it specifically for the system, so you won't be playing that version at all. You're gonna be playing a next gen version of those games at launch.
So you can't.
There is out now. You could the influencers can play Gears 5 right now because Chris, they have preview. They have preview units.
And they have a fucking crash on live stream. That's coming in hot.
Yeah, no. Okay, all right, Chris. Let's address this. Couple things I want to address. Right? No. It's cool. All right, so
there wasn't footage. There wasn't footage of Yakuza crashing.
All right, let's talk. I'll address.
Stop saying I'm capping if y'all don't even look at the information.
Chris, I'm gonna address all your points. Chris, I'm gonna address all your points. All right, so Gears 5 wants you. Now, this is the thing that I don't like about these influencers not being transparent. I don't even have a promotional box, and I know every detail of the embargo. Right, so. When they got these bond, because I'm too controversial and I don't have a minimum of 20,000 subs. All right, so
we're on here, Bond.
So for example, the Xbox Series X, these preview units, right? They came preloaded with like Game Pass games. They got a list of games that were already compatible, and then games that weren't compatible yet because they're testing. But every day, like 100 games have been added for them to play since they've gotten it. So they're already at like over 1,000 games that they could play right now because they've been updating that list. They get not every day, but every week they get a patch update. So what happened was, the Gears game, right? The Gears patch just came out yesterday. And now they can play it. They can play the next gen version, the optimized version of Gears. But because they weren't just letting the game be like the regular Gears, like you could play the old Gears, like the original 4 games. But this 5, they wanted to give it this. They're doing the smart delivery thing and making the next gen version available, so they can play Gears now. Halo, I don't know if they're doing a legit patch. They just probably hasn't gone through testing, but it will be available. State of Decay 2, which is compatible. The game needed an update, and she thought it crashed, but it didn't. It just and that happens right now on my Xbox One X. When I launch a game that I previously had open, and it needed an update since then, it won't launch. It'll kick me back to the dashboard. I click on it again, then it prompts me that it needs an update. That's nothing new. Now the Yakuza crashing and stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's not. I've received that I still receive crashes like that now on the Xbox One X. It's not as often, but when I was in the preview program, when my console was in the early preview programs, and this is why people used to opt out of it, because they would experience crashing, like the dash, it would make that and it kick you back to the
Xbox. I don't do that.
And it kicks you back to the dashboard, and so that shit kept happening. So I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving the preview program. After I left the preview program, I was good and then I waited until the console naturally got the update. So that's what happens when you're, and a lot of people don't understand that when you're in these preview Xboxes are also in the preview program. They're running different softwares that's not quite even on the Xbox One, on like the current Xbox One yet. So they're going to experience crashes and all types of glitches, because they have them there to play, to test out. They're not going to give them consoles knowingly break while they're going to be streaming. It's their job to report them. And a good thing that it happened live on stream. A good thing it happened with Sega, because now it's October. It's like, okay, let's figure out what happened there. They can fix it, and we won't have to worry about that come launch. So, and what else did you point out that I didn't address yet?
That you only talk about old ass games.
Okay. I mean, because the thing is, right now, just to give you a heads up, like, we all get to experience and test PlayStation 5s all out at the same time. So, you know, nobody can see. We all will find out. If our shit's gonna crash, it's gonna crash. We're gonna find out at the same time. We got no like body to report it to.
This shit's gonna crash. Like every fucking system crashes and shit like that. At one point, this shit's gonna crash.
But yeah,
it's
but
just like it's the reason behind why these games are crashing. Like you said, they're gonna have like who knows, like the whole catalog available by launch or 4,000, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's the reason behind why they crashed. It's just like these games weren't available yet without the patch, and so like for the Yakuza game, who knows why that specifically did. But with everything that Snoop said, like it makes sense that like these games weren't on their list yet, and as their list grows, like these games will be able to take advantage of whatever the series.
I got a question.
So
what is the numbered amount?
They're not going to give it. Currently on Xbox One, there's I think a total of 538 combined 360 and Xbox games. I don't know how many total Xbox One games exist to tell you how much games are going to be backwards. I just know
I know. Okay, so I know for the OG Xbox, it's only like 40 games.
Yeah.
That's like backwards compatible. For the 360, it's 500 and something.
Yeah.
The exact numbers. And then I'm guessing for the Xbox One, it's going to be like at least over 1,000 or 2,000.
They're saying thousands because nobody knows how many games actually exist for. So they'd rather say thousands because they don't have to give you an exact number. But
like it's a ballpark number, like like.
But they say expect pretty much their expectations is to have pretty much all the games that aren't Kinect games are running on your console. Anything you're playing now should be able to play on your Xbox Series X and S. And
what's up with that new PS4 update with that hard party chat shit?
Yeah, Chris, tell us all about it.
So people are exaggerating. So this is 8.0 update that came out that they're adding a feature, and it's funny because this feature is only for the PS5 users, where anybody in the party chat, right? Because before you weren't allowed. Well, with the PS4 itself, you couldn't really like record the conversations in the party chat. So any user in the party chat can record a conversation and then report it to Sony if there's something like, if somebody's being racist or phobic.
No, I didn't even know.
Or terrorist threat or some shit like that. Right? People took it as, that PlayStation is going to be recording all of your fucking party chat conversations and shit like that. And from what I read, Xbox has a similar feature where they don't record your party chat at all, but you can report somebody in the party chat and they can listen to the audio files. You know what I mean? But people got
all these look, if you
phones,
your job has phone recording. Your Alexa's probably recording you, Siri. What other device? Google Home. Yeah. They said that Kinect was listening to you. all these machines that we speak to and talk to. If some dude said he was going to launch a nuclear missile on Discord, they'd be able to find it.
I mean, I've gotten reported on Xbox and stuff, but I got reported for like the stuff that I text, and you can it's easily screen cap that stuff. But yeah, it's not a big deal. But when it comes, the way that it came out, privacy, big brother, I mean,
Rev's been reported for saying things on Xbox. They suspended him from like playing Halo before.
Yeah.
They suspended
But
him.
like I said, all it is a feature for people to record a conversation. If you're in a party chat, and
You need
it goes,
to.
and it goes and shit like that. But usually, like all the party chats that I'm into is with my real world friends, so we don't gotta worry about shit like that. And plus, like Bond said, like your phone, it don't matter what service you're using, Verizon, AT&T, your webcam, anything that's connected or has some type of connection. It's like all of it is accessible to be tapped into and for you to be listening to. So it's like it's the same thing with the Kinect. When people were flipping around about the Kinect and shit like that, I bought the Xbox One with the Kinect, and I didn't give a fuck. I was like, listen, yo, they want to watch me walk around my house naked, they can. I don't give a fuck. Nah, that's not cool. But I'm just saying, it's like people just blowing shit out of proportion again.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm happy to see it. Honestly, but I'm surprised that PlayStation gets some of this Uncle
Stupid if
Big Brother's watching.
Because what's going to happen if Sony did implement that, Xbox will be the next person to do it.
Bruh, Xbox has already been accused of all this other shit, bruh.
Yeah, but they already have shit like that.
Here's the thing, right?
To some extent, yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's not that fucking serious. And one, I'm surprised PlayStation guys would even recognize that, because every time I used to play on PlayStation, there was nobody in parties, bro. Like, you guys, like,
too.
But
that's super cap.
Hey, I mean, I haven't. Every time I played on PlayStation, I've probably been on a party like maybe 3 times.
But you don't. That's not your primary console. So it's like, of course, it's my primary console. But then I'm always in party chat, or if I play Rainbow Six Siege and I'm using game chat, there's always people on mics and shit like that. Matter of fact, most of the time when I'm playing online, especially like online shooters, I usually put myself in a party chat so I don't gotta hear anybody else, because I don't like hearing a lot of these fuckboys talk this shit or whatever, shit like that. So I either mute everybody anyways, or I just put myself in the party chat and don't give a fuck what anybody's saying.
Well, you're not a team player.
Yeah, man, you gotta communicate with the team.
Right.
Operator down.
If it's a game that requires
Operator down.
communication, but like if I'm hearing a little kid call me the fucking N-word or some shit like that, like I don't hear that shit.
That's different, But Smooth had an experience on PlayStation. It was very vacant. It's gonna be the same thing with Trash Hollow, really empty, vacant world with nothing in it.
Damn, yo, Jay's going way more hard on Valhalla than I am.
Yeah, like I've.
Yeah, I don't know why he capping like that, but Valhalla.
Like, it's like shit. Assassin's Creed must have done something to this man, because I mean, I don't.
Yeah, it exists.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is gonna be one of the best Assassin's Creed games in a long time. So
I think one of the best Assassin's Creed in a long time came and passed.
And what was that?
Like that's what I'm.
2.
Please don't say something old.
You got Brotherhood. You got all these other Assassin's Creed games that are superior to this trash.
So like even folks that went
Black Flag
into
was
the
good too.
Story for these jumps, like they weren't great.
Speaking of Speaking of Assassin's Creed, I have another Cap old game moment. So I am officially on the hunt for Assassin's Creed Unity physical disc, because the Series X is the lone console, right? I don't know what the PS5 is gonna do, but that will run this thing at a locked 60 frames per second, which wasn't nearly possible on the consoles.
Which one?
Before.
Unity?
Unity.
Is that the one that came out like all fucked up?
Oh yeah,
but that one had like the best at the time. It had the best graphics, but it had like glitches. It had like the frame rate went crazy,
like warped and shit like that. Yeah.
And that was the one that was multiplayer too, as well. Unity had
it was co-op, right?
Yeah, co-op. Yeah. So I think I own it digitally, but nah, I'm copying that because it has the patch. So I'm getting the disc version and I'm running through that bad boy on the Series X. So
you're not running through no games smooth.
Actually, an Assassin's Creed game, unlike Valhalla. So yeah, you should actually play that over Valhalla.
Why would I do that? I enjoyed Odyssey. I loved it so many. I got over 150 hours in Odyssey. Origins.
Odyssey
I got I think like maybe 80 hours in Origins and whatnot. I like what Ubisoft has been doing with the Assassin's Creed. Those have been my favorite of like the series. They just been damn awesome, and I'm glad that they made the change and made the games worth playing because I wasn't a big fan of the original series of Assassin's Creed. I think the only one I really kind of vibe with, I wanted to get into Unity, but remember it was all buggy, and Syndicate was like kind of the one I was like, okay, I could do this. So, and then
this trash game on your screen right now.
It's Juju.
What is it?
Juju.
The hell is
what the fuck is that?
It was a Games with Gold game like maybe a couple months back, and I think it's for the 360. It should be like. I think it's a 360 game. Yeah, please do. But I just found something that was on my computer because I didn't want to look at it still.
Whose gameplay is this?
It's mine.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
This man hasn't finished games like Doom, The Witcher.
Yeah, I played this a little. I played it a long time ago. I just.
Shit. Those aren't games.
Smooth, you got the stream Doom Eternal. I want to see you rage on that game.
Doom
somebody's going
to at least play 2006.
That and somebody.
I played 2000. I'm stuck.
I need somebody to stream. I need somebody to pay kids to stream Resident Evil 2 on hard mode.
No. But at least just stream Resident Evil 2.
Resident
was
Evil
that like
a
Inferno?
No, Resident Evil 3 is trash.
It's trash, but the fucking difficulty is harder as far as like the difficulty moments.
I'm the thing about Resident Evil is I get stuck. I'm stuck on Resident Evil 2. I don't know where the fuck to go.
You don't have to worry. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have to worry about that with Resident Evil 3 because Resident Evil 3 barely had any fucking puzzles. Resident Evil 2, yeah,
puzzles. Yeah. Well, you're out and about.
People can beat that game like in an hour and a half. What are you talking about, Smooth?
Dude, I don't know what it is. I'm stuck. I'm in the prison or the parking lot, some shit like that. That's where I'm at.
That's the very beginning.
Okay.
Hey.
So you're looking for like the battery part.
I got to the part where fucking Mr. X grabbed somebody through the fucking wall and
his head and shit. Yeah, like you're trying to get the pieces to open the gate for his car.
This is what exactly I'm talking about. How these Xbox gamers they all come with an adaptive controller for their consoles.
No. See, it is what it is. People get stuck, and I get stuck in fucking some video games, and then that's enough to get me off of it for the time being.
Like it's all right if he goes back to it and he plays it and he actually beats it. Like
he's a grown ass man that put a game down because he couldn't solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
All right. Like you stop playing a game and then you come back to it later.
Yeah, like I put down so many games. Like, I remember I put Record down for a hot minute before I finally finished it. I put down fucking Quantum Break because I couldn't figure out why I couldn't beat the final boss. So I put that game down for like 8 days before I went back and finally finished it. And what else games did I? But it happens. It is what it is. If it had not been for these damn challenges, I would have put down like Uncharted and Bloodborne for mad days before I finally picked it back up. But
have you ever beat a Zelda game?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So you never played a Zelda game ever?
I didn't buy a lot of Zelda games. I think I bought like one. I think I owned like maybe 2. Well, 3. Breath of the Wild was the last one I owned, but I didn't like really play it much. I walked around a little bit and decided I don't like this shit. So.
Hey, but in Ocarina of Time, he would have been stuck at the Deku. Like the very first dungeon that you do with the Deku tree.
Dude, hey, don't be surprised. I'm not a weeboo gamer. I'm like I never beat a Zelda game. I don't look at these things as the fucking greatest thing in the world. They exist. I'm not interested.
just like Trash Hollow. It just exists.
I just got robbed by a tranny.
What's this man talking about?
What are you playing? Oh, Yakuza.
And now
Yes, I beat a DMC game. I beat DMC 5.
Now the boyfriend of whatever is trying to fight me. So I'm about to break his face.
Kiwami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit. Yo, if Judgment ever comes to PC, you should play that, bro. Definitely.
Kwame,
I thought it was
2.
on PC.
Judgment is on PC, but not for
Oh, is
the
it?
other ones.
Oh, okay.
What this game, like, this
Well,
game
Judgment is a spin-off. You don't really...
shit. Yo, the regular's trying to fight me now.
Well, stop, yo. You're like, stop, dog. Oh, speaking of...
I'm about to beat the brakes off of it. I don't care if it's in a skirt or whatnot.
Oh, speaking of Yakuza,
yeah.
if anybody's into Streets of Rage 4, they're having Yakuza the characters like Kiryu and all guest characters.
I beat that game. Nobody went, like, I didn't get my props for that. Yo,
yeah, they give.
So in 2 weeks, guys, we do have a developer interview at the end of the month. I'll probably reveal more about it later, but they are currently working on a next gen game. So and it's been shown. And they're going to be on the show at the end of October. So look forward to that. And I'm looking to add another a developer interview, and just one more. Do get like maybe 2 developer interviews before the launch of the next generation consoles. See what we can get. So stay tuned for that. If you guys miss, I used to do that a lot during my writer's block days and the previous Play Xbox days and the previous Let's Talk Games days. So I'm just getting back to
that's what I thought. I don't think Judgment's on PC. It might be though.
Getting back to my game developer interview roots and stuff like that. And so hopefully you guys enjoy that. That should be good. We should get some good information out of that. But it's about that time. Is there anything major that we've missed so far that we haven't covered?
No, we covered the dirt, we covered the Digital Foundry, covered the PS5 breakdowns, compatibility,
Trash Holla.
Are there any new games? We're 3 weeks out.
Yeah, there's a new update coming this Friday to Ghost of Tsushima.
Bro, I said new game.
That's a new update.
You know his energy, bro.
Next, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the games are honestly coming out towards the end of this month and then throughout November. So I'm not really. I don't see myself buying anything new.
Doom Eternal DLC is coming.
I'm still surprised. Oh, that's what I meant to say. So my younger cousin, I was so disappointed in him.
Why?
He was stuck on a puzzle in Resident Evil 2. And he's the same age now as I was when the original version of Resident Evil 2 came out on the PlayStation 1. I'm like, this is a goddamn shame. And now
did you give him a look of disappointment?
Hell yeah, I gave him a look of disappointment. Then he tried to go on YouTube, so I cut off his router.
That's messed up, dude.
Shit.
No, it's not. You gotta figure that shit out yourself.
That is messed up.
You should have brought up a Game Informer magazine with a tutorial.
See, this
Speaking of Game Informer, Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is the problem with kids nowadays. They only want to play games where they just aim and blow the fuck up out of everything in front of them. They have no critical thinking or problem-solving skills. Then they get bored, then they get frustrated, then they want to go to a different... Does this sound familiar, Smooth?
No, actually, because the new Super Lucky Tales have some extremely critical thinking puzzles that you have to get through. I'm dead serious. Play it, dude.
I don't know. I haven't played it, so I can't say nothing.
Play it, bro. Like, I'm dead serious. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to my rival over there. I'll be on Saltia's Game Podcast tomorrow to bring some sort of balance to the show. And so check me out over there, the Saltiest Gaming Podcast, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. But for those who watch, we had over 300 people watching. You guys couldn't hit the like button. That's so disappointing. Like, can we please get the engagement? I don't care if you have to dislike it. Just make it make sense, because these numbers aren't making sense at all.
They're all watching Jack play Among Us.
I thought he was taking today off.
I don't know. He had 8,000 last year.
Yo, shout out to Jack, bro. That boy is exploding with the Among Us streams, man. Yeah, 8K views.
Hopefully nobody's fucking botting him because those numbers is insane.
Nah, that's way too much. It could be some bots.
I mean, he has the most entertaining streams because it's 30 people jumping in and out, tons of personalities. A bunch of people that know each other, argue with each other, and things like that.
No, they're good. I be checking them out, but like, and those like, congrats if those are. And the cool thing is that he's showing up on like the main page of YouTube Gaming, which is a big look, and hopefully it translates into yes, well, I hope it just translates overall and get because I know Jack Move kind of like went through the Twitch route, make him come back to YouTube because they show up on YouTube, because Twitch is hard to get like people to watch, but on YouTube,
unless you got titties, you ain't making.
Yeah. So shout out to Jack Move Johnny and all the Weapon Wheel panel, Weapon Wheel podcast every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's where you can catch.
The only thing I wanted to bring up is Game Informer just dropped a magazine with Spider-Man with more info on it and stuff like that. And they were saying, man, they're impressed with this one. Like Andrew Reiner and shit like that from Game Story. They said the game is on a much bigger scale than what they initially thought. That they're impressed with I asked him about how long it is, like hours. He said that he's not sure, but he said that what the people told him, it's a satisfying length. But I take that as well. I don't know what that means.
Don't worry, people still think about puddles and our dumb bullshit.
Yeah, but the ray tracing in that game looks really, really good and shit like that. The 60 FPS mode. There was one thing where they showed him inside of the fully detailed building, and then he zips out of like one of the tunnels into the fully open world with like zero loading and stuff like that. With like the Spider-Man PS4, he used to load in and out the buildings and shit like that. So it looks very, very impressive. They showed a fight with Rhino, just a little bit with Rhino and Peter Parker and Miles Morales and shit like that. So it's looking really, really good. If anybody's is into like Spider-Man and Marvel.
Well, I'll finally be able to get to play the original one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ain't touching that shit at no goddamn 30 frames. Fuck that.
Are you choosing 60 frames over ray tracing reflections?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
PC gamer. I choose frame rate over everything.
Listen, unless it's a 3080, he's never gonna do ray tracing at 30 FPS. At least with that 3080, he can do ray tracing at 60 on some titles, or use DLSS.
I'm confused. A 3080 will be able to do ray tracing with pretty much everything.
Wait, aren't you waiting on like a 20 gig card, or are you getting the one that's
They're out in December.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to drop that resolution. I don't know if these new cards are like can max out 4K 60 with ray tracing.
First of all, nobody maxes out games when they play them. Nobody's sitting up there playing with anti-aliasing on like 8 to 12 or 6, whatever. People only turn on the anti-aliasing to 2 and 4. Not to mention that with 4K, you don't even need anti-aliasing, really.
Yeah, you have enough
put it on
on
2 and you'll be straight.
I remember like way back when Max Payne 3 came out. Hard 8 returned a graphics card because he couldn't max out. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm running it at an 8x MSAA. And it's something like, well, why don't you put the MSA? I don't want to play with it at 6 or 4. It has to be 8.
No, what?
Are you kidding me?
All right, guys. Outros, man. Let's start with Black Bond.
Oh, Smooth. Where's my money?
For what?
For Lakers. You
no, that's one. This is Cyberpunk.
No.
Who? Nuggets. I thought you put that towards the console itself.
No. I said we'll make them separate. Remember? I'll deal with my game separately.
I need some documentation, but I thought so this is not for Cyberpunk or anything.
You're giving 300. I already gave BG 200. You're giving BG 300. That's covering my PS5. I said the 2 games will be handled separately.
All right, so what's the game?
Christ.
Cyberpunk, and I don't know what else. I'll just hold on to that other game.
All right, Chris Righteous.
Yo, thanks for everybody for showing up and watching. Make sure you hit the like button and share the streams. And yeah, man, another good week. Next gen is almost here. It's about to get even more exciting. And right now, I'm just going through my crazy ass backlog right now. I just beat Trails of Cold Steel 1, 90 hours. And I just started East 8 today, which that fucking game is fucking fun.
Oh, I'm confused. I'm confused. You went from Cold Steel 1 to Ease 8?
Yeah.
What other Ease games have you played?
This is my first one. I haven't played any.
Okay, so I'm really confused here. Cold Steel 1 ended on a cliffhanger, and you didn't want to immediately go into Cold Steel 2.
I do, but I have other games that I need to fucking get out the way. Plus, I want to take I just played the game for 90 hours. I want to soak it in for a little bit.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Because that's what I do with that. With every when I was binging all the Legend of Heroes games, I would play one, then beat 3 games, and go back to another one. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Because Cold Steel 1 is one of the shorter ones, I'll tell you that right now.
Alright. Dope.
Does Xbox have Cold Steel on it?
I don't know. I wouldn't know, only because I don't see myself playing a game with a name like that. So.
Cold Steel?
Yeah.
Do you know what Cold Steel is?
I don't, bro. I don't.
Well, I mean, you're going to be swinging a lot of it in Valhalla, but you don't know.
Okay.
That is kind of crazy, Smooth.
Dope is Jay, bro. You next.
Oh yeah. Everybody has a good night. Make sure you guys drop a like, share the stream, comment, get the activity up. Probably gonna do a little bit more VR tonight. Probably hop on VR chat with some homies.
What the hell is VR chat?
You never seen VR chat? Google it. It's funny.
They got bitches in it?
Man. It's a funny experience. But make sure you guys buy Trash Holla and enjoy that game.
Oh my god, dude!
I'm not gonna be playing that piece of shit game.
Okay, you're gonna be
cereal, bro.
3080 coming soon.
KUROIKOI.
Yo, my bad for being late. Everybody has some things to do. You dig? She tried to come in here to calm down the storm that was brewing in this motherfucker. But yeah, keep it gaming, baby.
Shout out to NickBanks. He probably still sleeping. He fell asleep on the party chat. I was like, you had me dying when you hit that thing.
Son, that man, like you couldn't even hear him. Like I heard the noise, bro. And I was like,
shout out to.
VR chat is where dudes pretend to be irregulars.
Oh my god! Shout out to Jerry Wilson. Welcome to the Best Bot. He joined the channel, Best Bot Basic. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Make sure you take advantage of the the treats that's there. Join a Discord. First access to vids and random shit that I drop in there. Appreciate you joining. It's definitely useful if you're going to be playing Xbox podcasts or watching me stream games. I also want to say this for everybody that's paid bi-weekly. It's 2 more paychecks until the Series X come out. So just to give you guys up, I just want to thank you guys for watching.
Oh yeah, a lot of you guys enjoy your 600 gigabytes of usable storage as well.
Oh yeah, and the PS5.
Cool. Hey, another thing I forgot. My other podcast tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Salty's Gaming Podcast, where we are going to have Kid Smooth as a guest.
All right. As always, guys, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here. Peace.